Chris MacWilliams, thank you for joining me, brother.
What's going on, man? How you been?
Shit, I mean, it's been a minute, man. We caught up a little bit last week. It's probably been like, it feels like it's been 10 years since we talked.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you got out in 2010-ish, right?
Well, my contract ended in January 2009.
Okay.
So for those who don't know, this is Chris MacWilliams. This is Big Bro from the USMC. You know, he's from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area. And I grew up in Virginia. I joined the military after him. We both got stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and that's where we kind of clicked up, man.
Dude, we went to MOS school together.
That's right, because
I lat moved.
So you had
I lat moved.
So yeah, let me back up. Let me get this right. So you had 4 years active duty before we even met. Is that correct?
So I joined in 2001, May 28th, right after I graduated high school. Literally 2 days after I graduated high school. Don't mind me, I'm working right now.
I see that. I see you working hard, dude. I hope you're not working too hard.
Yeah, man, I'm always working. Like I said, I graduated 2 days after. Or 2 days after I graduated, I was in boot camp. 3 days after I turned 18. And, went off to boot camp, Paris Island, all that good stuff. And then I went in an open contract. So originally I was supposed to be an artillery guy, an old cannon cocker. But 9/11 happened while I was at MCT. And when I got my orders, they sent me off to tank school out in Louisville, Kentucky. Fort Knox, to be exact. So, did that for my first 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Went on 2 deployments.
Mm-hmm.
The initial invasion into Iraq, the Battle of Fallujah. And then when I re-enlisted, there was no space left in the tank community. So, I moved to 0481 where I met your crazy ass.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, that was my snapshot. Quick little synopsis beforehand.
Now you attended a military academy even before the active duty.
Yes.
I
went to a military high school.
And was that in Virginia?
Badass. Yeah, over in Woodstock, Virginia, on the exact opposite side from where you live.
So it was Massanutten Military Academy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty well known up in the mountains there. How was that experience for you? How did that come about? Like, how did that?
I was a bad kid. You know what I mean? Normal stuff. Got in trouble. Fought with my parents. Doing bad in school, grade-wise. My mom said she had enough. Put me in a halfway house for about 2 weeks while she was trying to figure out what to really do. And she said, "You're going to military school." Took me there, and then for the rest of my junior year and my senior year, I went to a military high school. Lived there and everything.
I mean, how was that?
Probably the best decision my mom ever made for me. Because I really got back into my schoolwork. Was a 3-sport athlete, varsity athlete there. Actually rose up in rank in the school. So I was still a knucklehead, but it wasn't as bad.
And at what point did you make a decision the Marine Corps is the route that you wanted to go?
So I put out a bunch of applications to college, and unbeknown to me, all my acceptance letters got mailed to my mom. And so I didn't think I was getting into any colleges. So a buddy of mine, he already had signed up. And he's like, "Yo, why don't you come with me?" So I was like, "All right, let me talk to the recruiter." And always honk the horn for little kids. Rule number 1 of a truck driver. So he's like, "Yo, come talk to the recruiter." So I went and talked to him, and I was like, "All right, let's do this." He went up and talked to my moms, and there I was.
Got you. And so then, I mean, you were basically off to boot camp. And was it? You said this was 2001.
Yep.
Got it. Was it? And this, you said this was after September 11 or before?
No. May 28th, I was on the Yellow Footprints.
Okay, got you. Got it. So then you became a tanker, do deployments to Iraq. Do we want to touch on that, or just want to maybe that?
Yeah, we could. I mean,
you've shared with me some pretty graphic, encounters from back at those two deployments.
Yeah, I mean, the initial push, my tank was the first tank to receive any type of combat engagement. We got hit with a 70 millimeter rocket 45 minutes after going through the berm into Iraq. That scared the living shit out of me as a 19-year-old kid. You know, I was 19 going on 20, and I'm driving, got the night vision on, and next thing I know, it's just a big white flash and a loud boom. The tank rocked, and I didn't hear nothing. I thought everybody inside the turret, because I was the driver, I thought everybody in the turret was dead. And I was like, I am fucked out here in the middle of Iraq. Don't know where anybody's at. No communications were working inside the tank at the time. It completely disrupted everything. But then everybody started moving up top, got everything back together, and we continued on up to the bridge where we got into a firefight with what was left of the Iraqi Armor Division. Had a firefight across the water. So they blew up the bridge and we couldn't get over. And I mean, then it was the normal stuff, just working our way up, all the way up to Baghdad.
Back to what you were saying, it sounds like no amount of training could really have prepared you for that impact.
Nah, not at all. That was a complete shell shocker. Like, holy shit, this is real. Everything else prior to that is all simulating, you know what I mean? Go out to the range, there's simulated targets that you're shooting at using training rounds. But getting out there and actually firsthand going through it, it's all my eye opener. Crazy.
Got it.
And yeah, came back from the initial push, and like, well, who's got time left on their contract? You guys are chopping over to this company. You're going to Fallujah. So they switched a bunch of guys I went to boot camp with and tank school over to the other two companies, and we started training, pushed out to Fallujah. That was a fun time, though. God, that was a fun time. That was probably one of my best deployments was in Fallujah.
How so?
There was no ROE. After a certain date, there was like, hey, if it moves in the city, take care of it. Drove through houses, drove over cars, living in some of their houses over there. Let me tell you, their architecture is incredible. And the way they do their interior design is a whole different level. The one house we stayed in, we nicknamed it Scarface House. It was modeled like Tony Montana's from Scarface on the inside. And that was the tanker's house. Only tanks lived there. So,
how did you feel about the military being there in general?
What do you mean?
Like just having a presence there and being there in that city and doing what was being done. I mean,
at the time, I was all like, oh, yeah, this is what we need to do. This is what we're supposed to do. I look back at it now, and I'm just like, yo, did we really need to be there? Was that our fight? You know what I mean? After so many people being lost, I lost a lot of friends and people I worked with in both my trips to Iraq. People I went to tank school with, people that were in charge of my platoon. One of my best friends to this day died twice over there. He came back both times, but it's just like, was it really worth it? Is that what were we really over there for, the greater good, or was it something else? You know what I mean? That's how I personally feel now. At the time, I was all gung ho though. Let's go get this. Let's go kill bad guys.
Right. Right.
So, and
Do you
then
feel, you feel now? Do you feel like that was kind of the sentiment of most guys over there, most Marines over there?
when we were over there,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it was all gung ho. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally, we were told after we started the push into Fallujah, if it looked enemy or if it moved, kill it. If it moved, kill it. Because there was flyers dropped that everyone has to be out of the city by this time, or you're considered an enemy insurgent.
Hmm.
So, yeah, everyone was about that.
Yeah. Got it. Got it.
So,
Gotcha.
and then yeah, came back, re-enlisted, lat moved, met you and Fowler, Brady, and all those guys.
Yeah.
You know, in MOS school. We had some fun times in MOS school.
Totally. Now, what
Taking the
made you?
beat.
After all that being said, what made you want to re-enlist and keep going down that road that was so traumatic?
I had no plan. You know what I mean? I had no plan for my life at that time. I was 22 and I was like, what am I about to do with my life if I get out? Fuck it. Might as well do another 4 years and figure it out then. You know what I mean? Give me 4 more years of getting paid, steady income, you know, benefits, all that stuff. Why not take advantage of it? So, yeah, that's what made me re-enlist the first time.
So then, yeah, you said there was no more space to remain a tanker, so you switched jobs to landing support. How much did you know about that job before you flat moved?
Not a goddamn thing. It looked cool on paper.
Yeah.
It looked cool as shit on paper. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
What was your fondest memories of MOS school?
Let's see.
Let's just paint the scene real quick. So this is 2005.
Yep.
I'm fresh out of boot camp and MCT combat training. You got 4 years in, 2 combat deployments as a tanker, and then this is where we link up. I think I'm 18 years old, maybe going on, maybe about 19, going on 19, and you know, lo and behold, you know, you already had that experience. I think it was only you and maybe
two others.
Both
of them were corporals.
Yeah.
I was a lance corporal because I just got an NJP for the second time.
That's right. Let's talk. Well, how did that happen?
I had a suspended license, and I was driving. I got pulled over speeding. Like, remember the curb on 24, right past the Kettle Diner? I was doing like 75 in that zone, and it was like a 30-mile-an-hour zone. I got pulled over. Luckily, I only got hit with the driving with a revoked license and not a DUI because I was drunk as shit.
Right.
I tried to dip from the cops and drive on to Camp Johnson, but they got me on the bridge.
Got it. So MOS school, what comes to your mind? I mean, what was the fondest memories that you have?
Man, messing around on the HSTs that they took us out on was fun. When you tried to get the corpsman, the female corpsman we had, the one HST to rub your inner thigh because you caught a cramp because the instructors told you to do that. That was hilarious. I still remember that.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I do.
Oh man, I don't remember that. I can't confirm that, but you
know. Taking you guys out in town and out to the beaches because I had my car and you guys didn't. You know what I mean? So when we went on the beach trip all the way out to Emerald Isle, or taking you out to Planet Rock to the nightclub.
Oh yeah.
Or having you guys drop me off there, and you guys would all go to Cheeseburgers because they served you guys.
Right. Right. Now, so this is my favorite point in time is early 07, getting back from that deployment. I'm alive. I got money in my pocket. I got a ton of confidence now. And we was hitting, and then we all like roomed in the same barracks, and we was hitting them clubs, man.
Yes, we were.
Can you describe the Jacksonville club scene in 07?
Believe it or not, it was actually kind of good.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what, you know.
Like, the music was always good.
Yeah.
There wasn't much fighting at the time, where we were going at least. You know what I mean?
Except afterwards in the parking lots. Parties
Well,
on.
we're not.
Shots fired, all that, you know.
I wasn't going to get into all that.
Yeah, we ain't got to get into all that. We can keep it, you know, we can.
But, yeah, I mean, it was Wednesday through Saturday night. We was out there.
Yeah.
Get back at 2:30, take a 2-hour nap, get up for PT.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the good thing was PT with Rubio and them was nice because it was like soccer every day.
Right.
So that was okay to do still half drunk.
This is what I realized is that y'all really found yourselves back in combat. Not back in combat, but in combat on that next deployment.
Yes. That we did. Most of the other guys more than me, to be honest. What was I about to say? So, yeah, we went over in, like, very beginning of February for the deployment to Kandahar.
Kandahar, okay.
And that's where we spent, like, the first month and a half there.
Mm.
Just getting all the vehicles and everything brought in. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And getting everything prepped and ready to go for the first convoy.
Got it.
So we got loaded up for the first convoy and headed out down to Bastion. And that's when Corporal Wilkes and First Sergeant Mercadante, you know, the tragedy that befell them happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of our guys were machine gunners or augmented to the MPs who went on that convoy. I was the vehicle behind that. No, 2 vehicles behind the Humvee that they were in when everything happened. So that shit was crazy. Because getting hit and blown up inside a tank is completely different from seeing an IED go off.
Mm.
You know, the experience is very different. What the fuck's this dude doing? Yeah, standing up there outside of the gunner's hatch and seeing the explosion 100, 200 feet in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was really, it was intense.
What were your thoughts at that moment? You were like, what, you know, what am I doing here? I got 9 more months here. Like,
no, my initial reaction was yelling out the call word for IED down to the because I had the convoy commander, the captain of the Motor T. She was in my truck, and so I started yelling out the code word, which was firecracker, to her, and basically kicking the back of her chair to let her know, even though I knew she could see it, it happened right in front of her.
yeah.
That was still my initial reaction. Then get right back up on the gun, because then we had to keep a lookout for anything else.
Right.
You know, we were there for probably about 16 hours, waiting for a wrecker to, you know, clean the Humvee up and EOD to sweep the area. We were in the middle of, on one side of the road was a poppy field, and on the other side of the road was a weed field. And what do the helo pilots do? Drop flares. Right in the fields. Next day, we, pushed on the rest of the way to Bastion. There was a bridge we came up to. And it had like some sort of sandbag type berm on the end of the bridge. And we weren't sure if it was rated because we had the MRAPs with us at the time. We weren't sure if it was rated for them to go across. So they advised all the people, drivers, etc., to drive as fast as you can over the bridge to play it safe. So my driver hauls ass over the bridge like she's supposed to. I didn't get enough warning for where the bump was, and she hit that bump and we went airborne in the MRAP. Bro, that shit fucked me up. I got tossed around, bounced my face off the 50 cal, ammo boxes falling and hitting my back and my knee. I was fucked up. So when we finally get to Bastion, I had to go to medical. I could barely walk. Everything was crazy. These guys got like 6 hours of sleep and had to push out to Dwyer, like right after that. And that's when they started running convoys back and forth to Dwyer and Bastion. And the convoys were like 16 hours apiece. Maintaining, all right, this group will go for convoys this day, this group will go for convoys that day, and just keep it rotating.
So you came back and you re-enlisted?
Yeah, I re-enlisted over, I did all my re-enlistment stuff. I had it set up prior to going over. I went and talked to the monitor. For those who don't know, that's the person who controls where you get stationed at for each MOS. Went and talked to him, and I had orders awaiting me upon re-enlistment for Puerto Rico for I&I duty. So when it came time, I re-enlisted, did all my paperwork while I was over there, and re-enlisted when I got back in October, the end of October. So I got that tax-free bonus.
So at this point, were you thinking making it a career?
Oh, yeah. I was most definitely invested in going for a full career.
At what point did you decide that? Because you said you wanted to take another 4 years, figure it out. What was the turning point that you were like, yeah, I'm gonna go for this?
I had just gotten married before we went on deployment, and I was like, you know what, this is not a bad lifestyle to have for, starting a family. Everything's taken care of. Guaranteed a paycheck, got medical, dental, everything's all covered. You know what I mean? So why not? And then I only got 12 more years. I've already done 8. Why not ride it out till get the full benefit retirement package?
Got it.
I could retire at the age of 38. You know what I mean?
When did you separate from the Marine Corps? What year was that?
June of 2013.
2013. Okay, got you. So 2013, you're out. You went back to the Philadelphia area.
No. I had a house. We had a house down in North Carolina.
Okay.
We bought a house when we moved back, and we was there. So I tried to go work on one of those natural gas drilling rigs up in Western Pennsylvania. And my first night on the job, my knee blew out again.
Damn.
Yeah. So I left that. We went back to NC, and I started trying to go to college, which was a nightmare. And then started working at one of the nightclubs down there. And then I was like, you know what? Enough with this lifestyle. Went and got my CDL. Dropped out of school, quit working in the nightclub, went and got my CDL and started driving trucks. I mean, your ass need to come out here and come chop it up in Philly with me. I'll take you around the city and stuff like that. So, we got to link up and go to one of these events when they start having people at these events again. I'm going to be traveling next year.
Well, hey, you're one of the only guys I know that can conduct a full interview and drive trucks at the same time and hooking up loads and whatnot.
Bruh, this is what I do. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for so long now, like it's second nature.
I see you getting it, brother. Well, it was really fantastic, getting back in touch with you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, next time you try and get all the guys on for another call, shoot me a heads up. I would love to chop it up with everybody again.